There we go. Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to WOR here for round 4 of PC Tier 2 here at Season 19. And unfortunately, Sappy and Corey couldn't make it, so alongside myself, Nathan Richards, will be Mr. Gareth, Warder, whatever you want to call him. It's up to you guys. Warder, welcome in. I know you do a lot of console, but you're moving over to PC. You did Tier 5 last week, now in Tier 2. You excited for this evening?
Oh, definitely some names in there that I definitely recognise from the console side, but it's nice to be able to see some new faces and in a new environment, even though it's still WOR.
Yeah, definitely. It's going to be a very good one. Good one. I mean, I was here back season, I think 14, 15, 16, and I've kind of been away from Tier 2 ever since then. So it's quite nice to be back here and commentating over some drivers that I've known for a very, very long time. And I mean, championship-wise, it's not actually that close. I expected it to be quite close, but we'll look at them now. Jan Halliday leads on 68 points. That's 31 points ahead of Keanu Latour in second place. Danny Van Ruyten's in third on 31. Then back in fourth on 23 is Keaton Lutt. Then we have Luca Rapassa, who I believe has actually kind of had a break / retirement from the game. So I don't think we'll see much of him anymore this season. Justin Ertz is on 18 points along with his teammate Larry Tulke on 16. Gabriel Quintino's in P8 on 16 points. Then we have Andre Molnar on 15 and Tony Hitala on 12 in 10th place. So if you ignore the guy at the top, Jan Halliday, Warner, everyone else, he's rather bunched up together, so it should be a very interesting race.
Yeah, you look at it and you go, everyone down to 12th. Well, yeah, even maybe Kai Pearson and Enzo, they take I don't want to say a surprise victory tonight. They've thrown themselves right back into that top 5 kind of position, haven't they? And yeah, unfortunately for everyone else, they've got to contend with Jan Halliday.
They have indeed, and on our screens we can also see the results from last week. Now, I didn't watch the race, so I feel like a lot of this is a little bit out of context, but Jan Halliday won around Las Vegas by 4.7 seconds, so I'm not sure what happened, but all I know is it's not normal to win by over a second at Las Vegas, never mind nearly 5. Justin Ertz's second, and Andre Molnar rounded out the podium, and the top 10 were separated by 12 seconds. So Las Vegas seemed to be quite chaotic indeed, and I'm hoping that we have the same tonight here at one of my favourite tracks, my home track, Silverstone. I mean, there could be many rounds, Warder, we could have both filled in for, but surely Silverstone's going to be one of our top favourites.
And yeah, it's such a historic track as well, isn't it? You're looking at it and you go, everything about it. You say a corner name or a straight, everyone knows what you're talking about. They immediately think F1, and there's not really any more historic than Silverstone.
Definitely, and we haven't got too long before we head our way into the lobby. So, of course, welcome everyone into the chat. It's great to have you all with us as per usual for season 19. It feels weird. Every season you go up a number. It's like 19 seasons here at WOR. It's like looking at PSGL and being on like season, I think it's season 38 at the moment. It's mad how quick all the seasons have flown by in our F1 leagues. But we are now in the session. Of course, it's a short qualifying session. So 18 minutes to try and take pole. Then, of course, a 50% race to round off the evening, and we've got everyone now heading out onto circuit. And I mean, one thing I'm glad about Warder is normally I do E-Series on PSGL, and that uses the F1 World cars. I don't use the normal car, so it's nice to commentate over the real cars again. It's been so long.
It's always nice to, and it's easier to go, the Alpine driver or
yeah.
something, just to, instead of that's a world car.
Yeah, is it the same in World as well?
I think World possibly is World Cars, and Console Tier 1 is this. So nice, you get to see the Haas or the Kick Sauber, the nice proper liveries, as I like to call them.
I mean, it's quite hard to make team storylines when you don't know who's in what team, because when you go into a lobby, it's like, right, everyone's in the same car, and you've got 6 guys, for example, from Veloci Academy. They're most likely all going to work together. Or, for example, 6 guys from FER, they're all going to work together no matter what. So it kind of eliminates that team factor of having the 10 teams and trying to fight for your constructor. But at least we're in the real cars, you kind of end up helping your teammate. Even if you're not in the same team, you might end up helping them just to try and help your constructor. So, yeah, we'll see what happens here in this first part of qualifying. First out will be Kai Pearson, I believe. a man you know very well, Warder, from the console side of things.
Yeah, very, very quick, Kai. Lovely, lovely gent to speak to in the commentary box when he's not angry. When he's won a race, or he had a great season battling with Enzo in the console tier 1 of season 17. I want to say, maybe even the season before as well. But someone that definitely on his day is consistent and will put up a fight against everyone.
Indeed, and I mean, these two are now teammates here in season 19 in tier 2. So how times changed, rivals and now teammates. So let's hope it doesn't turn into a Lewis and Rosberg type rivalry. As we will go on board here with Kai Pearson, we'll see what he can do on this opening run. Of course, heading down to Brooklands corner at turn number 7, just get the car thrown in. And I mean, on this game, you can just throw the car in and just hope it sticks. And the grip generally will allow the car just to stick in the corner, so you can pretty much just throw it in and not have to worry too much as Kai heads through Woodcut and up towards Copse Corner, the infamous turn number 9, I believe, on this circuit. Get the car turned in nicely and then, of course, keeping it flat all the way through, as you will probably choose to stick in 7th gear. Heading through into Maggots and Beckett's, just get the car nicely through, of course, carrying all that minimum speed, shifting down to 6th gear, back on the power straight away, of course, opening that DRS now as you head your way down to Stowe Corner in 8th gear, and of course wanting to break around that 50-metre board a little bit after that. Get the car turned in, hit the apex on the entry, try not to spin it on the exit, which is nearly what Kai Pearson did, and with that he decides to enter back into the pit. So let's see, what can Enzo Soom do?
Yeah, let's through the final bits, and it was very interesting to see that he lost it, and Kai, and then throw it straight into the pit lane. But a 125.6 is a good banker for Enzo.
It certainly is, and we do have lots of times coming through. Yannick Schmidt now goes to the top with a .468. Sprogis into second. Championship leader Jan Harde goes up into 4th for now as Keaton Lutz jumps up into 2nd place. So many lap times coming through. We have Larry Tulga here, who pops up into P11 just ahead of JS Dean, just behind Tudor Presakan in the top 10. And let's see who else is looking to finish their lap. Tony Hitala now, I think, invalidated as he crossed the line and carried on. What can Gabriel Quintino do? Tends to be a master here in qualifying, so wouldn't be a surprise if he goes up towards that top 5 in the field as he heads his way through the chicane up to the line now. What will it be here for Gabriel Quintino? To the top by 40 thousandths of a second, ahead of Yannick Schmidt and Keaton Lutz rounding out the top 3. So 4 teams in the top 4, 4 teams in the top 5.
Yeah, wonderful stuff. You love to see when there's so many different teams fighting away, but obviously I don't think we've seen the best of Jan. Oh, actually, just looking at the two Astons, exactly the same time.
Oh, now out of all teams to do that, out of all drivers to get the same time, it's on the same team. Never seen that before, ever.
I'd like to know the stats and the percentage chance of that, because that is a rather
1 in a million. It's probably more than that.
I think I did Kai Pearson a little bit dirty earlier on as well. He is the season 17 champion of console tier 1, and it was season 16 where Enzo narrowly beat him by 4 points to the championship. So saying they're good drivers is just a slight understatement.
It certainly is, and we've got a few drivers back on outlaps. So we've got Kai Pearson, Karen Latour, Linus Donovan, and Tony Hitala. I presume Tony will be going back into the pits, and then, of course, the other 3 are going to go on for their laps, of course, either not going out early on or having an invalidation on their opening runs, which can be quite easy here, to be fair. I know everyone, bar 4, has set a lap, but it is very easy to run that slight bit wide and, of course, ruin your lap. So it's not ideal when you're in this position where you've got 12 minutes and you've not got a lap, but you've got to try and work through it and get the best out of your session that you can. Of course, all those with a banker, very good for them going through into these next part of qualifying, because they know, just say, for example, Gabriel makes a mistake in the next 2 laps and doesn't set one, a 25.4, you're still going to get at least around that top 10 area. So it's not the end of the world if you've already got that banker, but if you haven't got a lap, you kind of need to get one ASAP.
Definitely, and I know some drivers in the past have really enjoyed the pressure of not having a lap time until the final run, but all it takes is one small invalidation. You go a little bit far wide onto one of the curves and you go over, and you start at the back of the grid. And I personally don't understand that, but these guys are a little bit better at this than I am. So each person is different and has their own so-called way of setting themselves up for a qualifying or race day.
Indeed, yeah. It's I mean, for me, I just want to try and get out there as much as I can. I don't want to just keep going and going and going. I mean, you've only got limited tyres, so you can't do that. But it would be very nice if you could. And I mean, I would be one that'd be horrible if I was, I had one run and that was it. I probably wouldn't set a very good lap at all because I'd be worrying every corner, taking it slow to make sure I don't invalidate. But one person who hasn't invalidated this lap is Kai Pearson, doing a good job so far. Into Stowe corner, of course, where he made a mistake on his opening run. He's going to take it all the way down now to the chicane, and then, of course, into the final corner. And we'll see what can Kai Pearson set for his first lap of the evening. It'll be in the 25s. It'll be P7 there with a 25.608. What about Linus Donovan, currently in 19th? We'll jump up to P11, and then Keanu Latour is heading into Stern now. We'll see what he can set here in the Mercedes. His teammate, Ray Simtiaz, I believe he's 4th or 5th in the standings. He's currently sitting in P6, around a 10th and a half off pole. What can Keanu do as he heads to the line now? Will be in the 0.5s, goes up into 3rd, matching Yannick Schmidt. So we've got 4 drivers that both have got matching times. Yannick Schmidt and Keanu Latour, and then Jan Hurday and Rihard Sprogis.
This is quite insane, isn't it? Unfortunately, it's not 2 Williams or 2 Mercedes doing at the same time, because that would have been even better still.
They both use Mercedes engines, though.
You've got that link. Fair play. Fair. But yeah, loads of literally the track is full of all the 19 of the 20 drivers, a couple on the in laps. But it's great to see all the action all at once. It's kind of similar to when it's raining. They just stay on the inters for a little bit longer. It's just got so many cars. It's just a gaggle of cars out on track.
It is, yeah. Everyone back out on another lap. Someone out laps, some on their flying laps. I'm just on board here with Jan Halliday, of course, our championship leader going into this round by 31 points. And would love to extend that by another 25 points if he can do so. As he heads his way through the middle sector now into Maggots and Beckett's, just throwing the Aston Martin through the corners. Very nicely so far. A bit of a snap as he heads through the exit of Beckett's, but nothing too drastic, and he's still up by 84 thousandths of a second here on this run, which would put him around P2. I don't think it's enough to take that top spot just yet, unless he can find a big improvement in this final sector as he heads down now into the last couple of corners. Throws the car over the curbs. Denny Van Ruyten goes to the top for Williams with a 0.333. Jan Herde goes into 3rd with a 125.462. Just about jumps ahead of Yannick Schmidt, and Diego Zorzo goes up into P4 there. 4 thousandths back from Jan Herde. So many improvements coming through. I think Zelen Bida there just starting a lap as he heads his way through into turn number 1. And Larry Tolkien goes up into 3rd place. And Warner, the track is evolving so quickly. The times are just flying through now.
It is insane how quick these guys are just getting to grips with it as well. Obviously, the track is ramping up, but it's nothing separating 4th to 7th, which is great to see. But really, when you look at it in a little bit more detail, nothing separating any of them other than Danny Van Ruyten having that 10th in the bag over Quintino at the moment. But Joel Marquardt thrown himself into P5 as well. That's another same time as Jan Halliday.
Absolute madness as Judah Pressakan goes up into P4. The top 10 separated by just over a 10th and a half of a second. And to make that even more interesting, 3rd place to 10th is what? 53 thousandths of a whole second. That's separating 7 drivers. So far, it is looking to be a really close qualifying, and any of the top 10, even everyone on the track at the moment, could take that pole position away from Danny Van Ruyten, who's still leading by just under a 10th of a second. And of course, many drivers looking to make improvements. I'm just trying to find if anyone is on a lap. Enzo Stoom's heading through the first sector, where I believe he's just completed a lap. So yeah, I think for now, it's going to go a little bit more quiet with 6.5 minutes to go in this session. Danny Van Ruyten leads by just over a 10th as Rihard Sprogis goes up into 2nd place with a 125.408. And to what makes Danny's lap more special, no one's in the 0.3s apart from him.
Yeah, that's a real good time from him. But we do have Gabriel Quintino starting a lap now, so he obviously set the benchmark early and coming out, and he's already invalidated.
Yeah, I
That's
think.
not ideal.
No, I think he invalidated on his previous run. I don't know why he carried on because he's only got 20% of battery. So unless he's going to go around again and go for a double outlap, maybe. I'm not sure. And just looking in the chat, Gabrielle says, "Come on, Danny," and Danny says, "Nathan, when are we doing some Formula 1600?" Sometime this week, Danny. I know there's a new track starting tomorrow, so we'll have to we'll have to jump on together and see what we can do. You'd be a lot quicker than me, like you was last week, though. Around a second quicker, and it was your first lap. I've been playing for 2 days.
Oh goodness.
Not ideal, but that's why I'm
I
not a
know some
racer.
people are special.
Oh dear me. I mean, yeah. I mean, it's why I stick to culture. I'm not very quick at racing. I mean, I can do a game, play it for a week. Someone will jump on 10 seconds later, literally be like, "Oh yeah, I'm already quicker than you by like 2 seconds." Yeah, great. That's definitely helped my confidence.
I know that pain all too well as well. Yeah, loads of. Oh dear, Danny's even 1.5 seconds.
Oh
faster
no.
than
So
the
that makes it
played
what,
as
two
well,
and a
so-
half? It's not ending well, is it?
No,
Oh
no.
dear
Good,
me.
good luck with that one. We'll, I expect updates next week.
Oh, don't worry. Well, you'll get them, but I won't be too happy. So I think you know. Well, I think you know what to expect, and it won't be any child-friendly words. That's for sure. But as we
Fantastic.
waffle on, we've actually got people on laps. We've got Kieran Latour in P10 heading through in towards Chapel now, and I've got to say, he's gone out rather early for this lap, hasn't he?
He has. So has Linus as well. Linus is just about to finish his lap time. He was up, but both drivers are very early. 4.5 minutes left. There's literally no time for them to get back into the pits to do anything with it. But the good thing about it, I guess, is as Keanu Latour is throwing himself into the pit lane. Maybe you heard what you were saying.
Well, I mean, if he's following my advice, he's not going to do very well, that's for sure. So hopefully he doesn't continue to follow my advice. But he's going to head back into the pits, and Justin Ertz is also on a lap currently on a 25.9. He's, I think he got second last week in Las Vegas. So to be last by just under 6 tenths is not ideal going into this race, considering everyone in the top 12 bar Danny Van Ruyten is in the point fours. So that's what? Second to 12th, separated by 90 thousandths of a second. That is mad. That is. I don't think I've seen qualifying that close for a long time. If you ignore Brazil or like Austria, which is like 107s.
Yeah, this is for a track of Silverstone as well. Obviously, you expect it kind of like you said, Brazil or maybe Austria, maybe Canada. But happening at Silverstone, that's it's quite special. And Kendon Nutt and Linus are on the exact same time as well as the Williams and the Mercedes, Jan Halliday and Mark Ward. How many more can we get?
Hang on, so we've got 6 drivers all on the same time.
There's
Oh yeah, there is. Keaton
three
and
sets of
Linus,
two.
Yannick and Keanu, and then Jan and Joel.
Is it going to stay that way? That's the.
I mean, it'd be interesting because I mean, the mad part was it was like that earlier with a different time. So we've had it happen 4 times in one session. That 2 drivers have matched times. I mean, that is rather insane indeed. And we'll see what happens at the end of the session. But Tony Hitala has gone very early. I mean, luckily Ghosting, I believe, is on here, so he hasn't got to worry about getting in the way. Well, cars haven't got to worry about getting in the way of him. But I have still seen penalties for blocking, so they've got to make sure they do move out the way, otherwise you could face a quali ban. Unless that's just
Yeah,
PSGL, I'm not sure.
it's putting off as well. You know,
Mhm.
seeing a car that's on the racing line and you drive, you have to, and so you force you to drive through them can be a bit off-putting. You could lose your braking, so I can kind of understand that if that's the case, if penalties do come through. But with Danny Van Ruyten, sorry, on pole currently, do you think he's going to stick there, or is it going to be someone else?
Ooh, I mean, I'd like to say anyone can go for it, but he's got such a big advantage already. I think even those in the top 10 are going to struggle to match a 0.3, so, or at least a 0.333. So I think if he could improve, surely. If not, I think he could still be in the top 5. Maybe a little bit outside the top 5, but certainly within the top 10, because that is a very good lap time indeed. And we've got Tony Hittala now at the moment, just heading through into Copse Corner. He's looking to try and find an improvement, currently around 3.2 tenths off pole position with a 125.558. So he's got a lot of time to find, but just a tenth could put him up into P5. So, and he's always down there by half a tenth. Now that is certainly not going to help this final sector.
No, but all it takes is if he's had a really poor third sector in his previous run, it could help him this time around. We just don't know until he crosses the line. I know Keaton, sorry, just behind is the next driver on a lap. He's up.
Ooh.
So, but Tony is unfortunately just couldn't get it sorted, could they?
No, I think he found an invalidation in the final corner, but we'll see. What can Keaton Lutt do now? Heading through the final corner up to the line. Will it be a provisional pole for the Haas? Yes, it will. A 0.3000 as we have Yannick Schmidt now jumping up into second place. Let's try and find who else is on a lap. Larry Tolke currently in the top 6. What can he do? Enzo Soom has unfortunately binned it in the final part of final part of the lap. That's not very often we see a car bidding it there. Larry Tolke goes up into third, 3 thousandths ahead of Danny Van Ruyten. What about the two Mercedes currently sitting P11 and P14? Let's go on board here with Keanu Latour heading through the final corner. Kai Pearson jumps up into P6 for the RB, and we have Ray Simtias. He stays 14th. Keanu Latour goes to the top with a 25.293. Now I want to go on board here with Danny Van Ruyten heading through in towards Maggots and Beckett's. We see that'll be JSD P17 for him. Zalambida only managing a top 14. Rihard Sprogis improves, but no higher than P6. And we have Gabriel Quintino up into the top 3, matching the time of Keaton Lutt and Diego Zorzo, jumping up into P9. Halliday, our championship leader, within just over 20 thousandths from pole. Honest Donovan, unfortunately, will not complete his lap. Can Danny Van Ruyten, the man who was on provisional pole by a tenth for half the session, can he take it away from Keanu Latour? No, he can't. And he won't by what? 10,000th of a second. So it's Keanu Latour on pole ahead of Keaton Lutt by 7 thousandths. And look at the gaps. Just back to P7 as we do see Tudor Pressacan jumping up into P9.
And again, Keaton Lutt and Quintino exactly the same time, which is absolutely
Mad.
insane to have it so many times this session.
The 5th time.
Sure. Yeah, it's so many times. Well, fair play for these drivers to be so quick as well. Knocking on the door of PC Tier 1 as well. These guys are incredible. I'm not sure, though, if Diego Zorzo is actually on a lap. He could be. He's burning battery. It's not giving me a delta time.
No, it says he's finished on my screen at least.
Oh, okay. That's
done,
typical.
yeah.
It's got everyone else with a checkered flag other than Zorzo. So
a bit of a
it's
glitch.
me commentated over an AI. Oh, wonderful. What a way to start PC, eh?
Oh, dear me. I mean, what a session that we had in qualifying. I mean, second and third matching times. 3 thousandths back to Danny, and then 9 thousandths back to Yannick Schmidt. Another 2 back to Jan. Very, very close indeed going into the race. And I mean, if these qualifying gaps are to show, we could have a really, really good Grand Prix. So, yeah, can't wait to get our way into the race. And I believe we have a restart, but I don't know how the restart procedure works, whether we leave and go into a new session or if we retire and go to the race, go back to the lobby. So we'll see that very shortly. But here are your qualifying. Here's the qualifying order for the British Grand Prix. So Keanu Latour on pole ahead of Keaton Lutt, Gabriel Quintino, Danny Van Ruyten, Yannick Schmidt, Jan Halliday, Larry Tolke, Richard Sprogis, Tudor Pressacan and Kai Pearson round at the top 10. Then we have Diego Zorzo, Joel Marquardt, Lawrence Donovan, Zalambida, Marcelo Biega, Ray Simtias, Tony Hittala, JSD, Enzo Soom and Justin Ertz, the whole of the grid. Oh, and now we can relax for what, 5 minutes? And then we go again.
Yeah, I still can't believe the top 9 separated by less than a tenth of a second. That is such a good set. Oh my goodness! I wonder, does this stay?
I don't know if the weather I don't know if they copy the weather over.
I wonder if they do, because if they do, it is going to be absolutely incredible to see these guys with the weather we've got here. But it's looking like they're The host is leaving, so
Oh,
we're
so
gonna have
we
to
are
leave.
leaving. Oh, dear me.
Um,
And Danny says mission failed. Yes, he couldn't quite take pole. I mean, it just shows, though, how good of a lap that was for Danny on his first run to get a 0.333, considering everyone else struggled to do it. And then in the final session, his lap was only beaten by 40 thousandths. And that was after the track evolved fully and people had, the best conditions and the most pressure put on them. So, yeah, it was a really good lap from Danny. Originally, of course, improved on it, got himself into P4, but of course, that's all he can compete with for now, going through into the race. And of course, we are going to be migrating hosts. So while we get ourselves sorted into the news session, we're just going to have a quick word from our sponsors at Grid Finder and Next Level Racing. Right, so welcome back, everybody. Of course, thanks to Grid Finder and Next Level Racing for sponsoring us for this season. A big thank you to you guys. It's a pleasure to be able to work with you here at WOR. But back to, well, we haven't got action yet, but back to the relevant topic of Great Britain. It's going to be a very, very interesting race here, of course. Qualifying very, very close. Times all within a tenth of a second. I think it was down to P9. So we know pace-wise, it's not an issue. It just depends how they're going to play their strategies. And I think around a track like this, Silverstone, you've got 26 laps. You've got a very long pit lane. So getting that pit stop right is probably the thing they want to focus on the most in this race, isn't it?
Definitely, and it's more crucial than ever because with them being so similar with time, and if there's a late safety car or an early safety car, you don't want to be too close to your teammate either because double stacking is going to cost you massively here. It's a pretty long pit lane, and yeah, it's just it can happen. It happened on console tier 1 on Friday night, where some drivers missed out massively because of an early safety car. So it's definitely something for these guys to think of. While yeah, you want to play a team game, it's very much you're driving for yourself.
It certainly is. And I mean, we'll have a quick look at the standings quickly. So I'm just going to turn you up a little bit, Warder. I did see someone in the chat just mention it. So we'll have a quick look at the standings yet again. Of course, Jan Holiday leads by 31 points. I believe he starts in I think it's P6 of this race. Colonel Latour, who's second in the championship, he starts first. I mean, we know the gap at the moment is quite big, but let's just think about it. The fact of if Jan Holiday was to not score points today, for example, which is very unlikely, and if Keanu was to hold that pole and take a win, that would bring the gap down just to 6 points. So, this race and getting that win is very critical for Keanu because of Jan starting a little bit further down. But also in the championship, we've got Danny Van Ruyten starting P4. He's right behind Keanu in the standings. Only 6 points separates them. Then you go back another 10 points to Keaton Lutt, who starts second. He's on 23 points. So, for those in the top 4 in the race, they're also those top 4 in the standings. So they've got a lot of pressure on them to deliver a good result and just try and close into Jan, who's just pulling away round by round. I mean, to be 4 rounds in, to have a 31-point lead, that shows some sort of Well, like they said with Lando Norris, statement made. That's all, isn't that? There's no words for it. It's brilliant.
Yeah, it's such a yeah, it's just such a statement from Jan. He's making sure that he's not forgotten. Um, I know it's PC tier 2, but he definitely wants people to remember his name, and he's definitely able to continue performing at the best. It's interesting to see as well, Danny. He didn't turn up for round 1, and he's up there already. So maybe he's going to be the main challenger to Jan in all this. I know he's starting a little bit further down the grid. He probably would have wanted where Keanu is, but that's a solid performance, and I think he probably would be disappointed with his Vegas performance, finishing 7th.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's not ideal to. I think he took a win in round 2, of course, not being there round 1, getting 7th in round 3. It's definitely not the best start, but shows that he's got the pace to do it. And apparently, we can't hear you for some reason. Why has it done that? Right. Let's have a quick look. No, we should be able to hear you. Speak again, Warder.
I will.
Yeah, no, we
well,
can hear you.
yeah.
We can hear you.
Okay.
I don't know why someone said that in the chat.
Maybe my tone is on a wavelength where they can't hear me. You know how dogs can only hear you. So I don't know. Maybe I'm just trying to think of some sort of excuse why it would work that way. But hopefully I'm heard now. But yeah, we'll have to wait. It's a shame Luca Rapassa isn't, if he has taken a little bit of a hiatus, because second in the first round of the season, it looked like it was a good start for him.
Definitely, and of course, good evening to Sapitron, who's unfortunately not here today because he's celebrating his birthday. So, no, congratulations. Happy birthday, there we are. That's the right word. Happy birthday, Sappy, of course. I hope you enjoy whatever you got planned this evening, whether it's drinking, I wouldn't blame you, but then again, you probably got work tomorrow, so I wouldn't recommend it. So, no. Mate, leave it till the weekend and then you can just drink all you want then. And you haven't got to worry about WR commentary then, have you? So, you can go it that way. Oh, but I hate this part of the stream when nothing's going on. You just got to waffle on and just think of stuff to say.
Well, yeah, we just went on one driver, aren't we? But
yes,
it is difficult to fill the void.
Actually, I've got a question. I did ask you about it earlier. Tell me the origin behind that flag in the background, the WOR flag. How long you had it?
So I've had it about a year now, and yeah, it was just I just thought with commentating for it, I was like, well, if I ever go to a race, I've got a flag and I can advertise, I can do whatever. I don't think WR need it as a advertisement for me, but it's a nice little backdrop. Though I think on like Discord, sometimes it's the wrong way round. So sometimes it's a ROW, which people get confused with. Which I don't know, Racing on World probably doesn't have the same ring to it.
Well, Racing Online World or either no. Doesn't sound right, no. And the colours would be backwards as well. Oh dear me. Right. So, update. Everybody's in the session now. Everyone's got a car selected, and people are slowly starting to rally up. So that hints to me that we're actually going to get going underway very shortly. And I mean, I don't want to chuck you in the deep end straight away, Wooder, but who do you think's going to win tonight?
Well, if I'm going off the standings, it's hard not to say Jan Halliday. But you know what? Starting on pole, he hasn't had a win yet this season. Only one podium. Why not Keanu? Why can't he take it from that position? And we'll have to wait and see from it. And obviously, if it's raining as well, if it's raining,
it's in dynamic. So I don't know. We'll see.
How about yourself? Who would you back in this duel?
You know what? I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna go with Danny from P4. I feel like he had a lot more to unleash in quali, but just couldn't quite hook it up. So I feel like he's got the pace in the race to try and deliver a victory. So we'll see. It's going to be a very close one indeed, and we haven't got long to go before we get ourselves loaded in. So it's Mercedes on pole, and I think it was Haas on the front row. So certainly not in realistic cars.
Definitely not. But you never know. Hulkenberg managed to get that Haas in weird and wonderful places. So,
True.
Keaton, is taking maybe tips. Who knows? Who knows? But
I mean, I hope the race pace improves because we know the Haas hasn't got the best race pace apart from last. No, where did we race last? Qatar. It had good race pace there, but before that, it's never had any race pace. So let's hope that Keaton actually has some in his car tonight. And we haven't got long to go before we head our way into the British Grand Prix, of course, round 4 here, season 19. Guys, let us know in the chat as well. Who do you think will take that victory? Of course, it's Kieran Latour on pole. We got Keaton Lutz starting in second place, and our championship leader starting, I think, it's either P5 or P6, of course, that being Jan Halliday. So lots to fight for in this Grand Prix. Now we just got to wait here until we do get that lights out, and everyone there in that key phase are just trying to sort out their strategies, chat with their engineers, figure out what the best thing to do is going into this Grand Prix, and of course having to discuss weather in case there's any rain on the radar. Of course, us in spectator view can't see the weather, so we have to just kind of gamble along as if we don't have a clue what's going on, then just hope something interesting happens later on in the race. And just waiting for everyone now just to get themselves loaded in. And we do see a mixture of soft and medium tyres. We do know that this is one of the tracks where you can take a soft tyre as a race tyre, soft medium, medium soft. You don't often see the hards around this track, so we'll see what happens going into this Grand Prix. And it'd be nice if they actually loaded in a bit quicker. But here we are. You can see all 20 cars on your screen. It's going to be Kieran Latour on pole. Keaton Lutz in second place. It's lights out for the British Grand Prix. And a good start from our top two as we head our way down to turn number 1. We'll pop the tyres on as well as we head our way through the first corner. Everybody on mediums, bar just a couple of drivers a little bit further back. The two Williams having a battle. Yannick Schmidt there getting ahead of Danny Van Ruysen into turn 3. Yannick now trying to go around the outside of Gabriel Quintino, taking the inside into turn 4, and yet again having the inside into turn number 5. We see Larry Torquay as well having a battle here with Danny Van Ruyten. It's not been a good start for the Williams that started in P4, but the one that started in P3 has had a brilliant start. They're looking to try and get past. Quintino gets that move done into Brooklands. Can the Ferrari fight back? He can't do as we head our way through in towards Luffield and Woolcott, and we see further back as well Jan Halliday on the soft tyres. Our championship leader trying something completely different to everyone in the top 6 ward. Let's see, what can he do from P7?
Yeah, he got caught up a little bit behind Danny Van Ruyten through Luffield there, which allowed Larry to just keep the position in front, which is probably really frustrating Jan Halliday, as he's now got Tudor behind, causing all sorts of problems. But it's all a little bit snaky as we head down the hangar straight and into a fight for the lead. Keaton Lutz has gone and taken the lead of this Grand Prix.
He certainly has, and will lead ahead of Keanu and Yannick in third, who's looking, I think, to make a send. And actually, no, it's going to be Gabriel looking to make a send on both of the Williams cars in towards the chicane. Gets pushed a little bit wide. We're going to go nearly 3 wide. Heading through the final corner down to turn 1 we go again to begin lap 2 of 26. We got 2 by 2 by 2 all heading through into the first corner here. We can have Jan Halliday. He's looking to go up the inside of Tudor. Tudor's going to look to try and make a move around the outside. As you do see Gabriel there looking to fight with Danny Van Ruyten, someone having a bit of a glitch as they head their way through turn 4. Oh, that's going to be the Ferrari of Gabriel going a little bit wide. That catches Jan Halliday off guard. He drops down to P8, and that puts Larry Torquay now up into P7. We see further back as well Tony Hitala. He's looking to make moves ahead of Kai Pearson, and ahead of him we have the other Aston Martin, Richard Sprogis, trying to close in on his teammate. Lap 2 of 26, and it's already chaos here, Warder.
Yeah, it is absolute carnage, but in a good way, as a nearly 3 wide as Kai Pearson and Zorzo fighting away as they exit Woodcote there. But my goodness me, it is so tight for these drivers, and they're still trying to go 2 by 2 through cops. That is some ballsy manoeuvres from some of these guys out there at the moment. And surely not going to go through Maggots and Beckett's. He backs out in the end. But this could break some, like the DRS train for some of these if they continue fighting as hard as they are.
Yep, it certainly could. And I mean, at least they're sane enough not to try and go side by side through Maggots and Beckett's. But we do see Kieran Latour retaking the lead of the Grand Prix. A brilliant start by Tudor, who of course started down, I think, in P8. Now up into the top 5, looking to close in onto the back of Danny Van Ruysen, looking to try and make a move. Danny's not had that brilliant pace at the start of this race, and I'll be saying that actually he's been held up a little bit by his teammate as they went through the final part of the circuit, as JSD started 17th now. He's up into P12, and Linus Donovan drops down to P14 behind JSD. That's going to be a bit of a fake send there by Danny Van Ruyten into turn 3. And that could also give an opportunity here to Tudor Pressacan up the inside through turn 4 and into turn 5. This could be a brilliant move by the McLaren as they head their way down to Brooklands corner. This has been a really good opportunity there by Tudor, but just couldn't quite keep it alongside heading into the braking zone, as we do see Jan Halliday getting back into P7 ahead of Larry Tolkien now, trying to close in on Gabriel Quintino. I can't hear you, Warder.
Oh, goodness. Sorry, I'm not sure what happened that side. That is frustrating on my side, because there was some real good opportunities, but for Jan, I feel for him because he's struggling. He's a position down on the grid. Keaton has just taken the lead of the Grand Prix again, but yeah, Jan Halliday is possibly going to go for a move, but it's not making those soft tyres work.
No, he certainly is not. So a bit of a shame here for Jan Halliday. Would, of course, like to have moved up a little bit more than he has done in this race, as he does take the fastest lap, however, as they head on to lap 4 of 26, and all through turn 1 and 2 yet again. Of course, into Farm Kerr, down to turn 3, I believe, is Village. If I get that correctly, I'm not quite sure. I do get mixed up with the corner names around this circuit. There's that many. You've got to try and remember them all, as we do see yet again Tudor closing in on Danny, but nowhere near close enough to make any sort of overtaking towards Brooklands corner. Jan Halliday, though, could be looking to close in on Gabriel Quintino. Gabriel's gone a little bit deep, heading through into towards Brooklands corner, but yeah, no opportunity there at all for Jan Halliday. Further ahead, though, that'll be Tudor Pressacan, looking to go up the inside here of Danny Van Ruyten in towards Copse corner, but isn't quite alongside. I think Danny's got a little bit more straight line speed in that car, so, you know, Tudor can catch up, but, you know, as soon as they get side by side, Danny just, you know, he's able just to pull away a little bit more.
Yeah, I know Latour looked like he struggled through Copse and then into Maggots. I think he's picked it back up again now, but it was dropping. Well, he's pushing Yannick back a little bit, but he's going to go on for the lead of the Grand Prix. I wonder if Yannick's going to go follow through as well. Yannick clips the back end of that Mercedes, and it could have caused a bit of a problem between the Williams, because they're going side by side. It's 2 by 2 into Vale and Club, and this is, well, Jarno taking the lead, but somehow Danny Van Ruyten hasn't taken third place.
Yeah, still stuck in P4 now is Danny, trying to fight hard to get past the Williams of Yannick Schmidt, and hopefully this time around he can do so, as we head our way down to turn 3, and it'll this time, no, it'll be Tudor on Danny. Never mind Danny on Yannick, as they head their way in towards turn number 4 now at the left-hander. Get the car turned in nicely. And yet again, Tudor and Danny going side by side through turn 5 down towards Brooklands now. Let's see if Jan Halliday can also get involved here. Burning the battery in towards Brooklands corner. Jan Halliday goes around the outside of one. Oh, and Tudor goes really deep. That pushes Jan Halliday off the circuit. He drops back down below. Larry Tolkien, no fault of Jan's there. Got sent off the circuit. I think Danny sent it on Tudor. Tudor went deep, and of course that caused Jan Halliday to also go really wide and of course go off the track. So he's got to do all that work again, and that'll just frustrate him a little bit more and probably make him be a little bit more aggressive now.
Yeah, I think this is the last we've seen of the nice Jan. He is going for it now, I'm sure, because that's twice he's been unfortunately pushed off the track for no fault of his own. But we now got a battle. Is Yannick Schmidt actually going to go for the lead, or is he just going to stay behind? I think he's just going to stay behind again and just follow this, as he definitely, well, they're all nursing, well, I don't want to say nursing their ERS, they're not touching their ERS at this moment in time.
They certainly are not. Oh, that's going to be Tony Hitala being spun round. I think either got hit by a car or locked the rears heading into the chicane, and unfortunately drops all the way down to P15, but will continue on ahead of Marcel Biega. Of course, on the soft tyres is Tony. This hasn't worked out well at all for him, and neither has it worked out well for Justin Ertz, who's still down at the bottom of the field, as we do see yet again Jan Halliday having a fight with Larry Tolkien. Into turn 4 and into turn 5 they go. And I think now the soft tyres are going to start to wear out a bit, so Jan and Tudor won't have that big advantage like they did earlier on.
No, I would say, yeah, this is possibly the start of the swap over period of the race tyre, I think, between the softs and the mediums, and we're going to start seeing the mediums being that little bit quicker and being able to, well, take the corners the way they want them, and the softs are probably going to have to, soft drivers are going to have to just nurse a little bit more. But I don't think that'll be a problem for Keanu Latour or Keaton Lutt at the front. They don't mind. They're on the mediums. They're going to push for as far as they can go.
They certainly will, as we do see there for a moment. Danny caught up right on the rear of Tudor, but I think made a bit of a mistake and got caught off guard by Tudor going a little bit slower through that section, and unfortunately drops back a little bit, as we do see Keanu Latour taking the lead once again ahead of Keaton Lutt as they head their way down to turn number 17 here at the chicane. We do see Enzo Suma as well getting past Marcel Biega for P17. Not been a good day for the Alpine team, as Tony Hitala is going to be out of the race in the pits, getting a 10-second penalty for speeding in the pits. It's not been a good one for him, so that's his day done. And unfortunately as well, Race Imtiaz has dropped outside the 1 second gap to the top 14. That certainly won't help him if he wants to try and score some points in this Grand Prix. But as we say, the soft tires are starting to die off, though. Tudor's done a very good job at just keeping right on the back of Yannick Schwitters. What's happened there to Diego? I think he had a bit of a half spin at turn 3 because he lost 4 positions. He was P10 and now they've dropped to P14.
I think that was I think there was contact with possibly JST. I don't want to put words in anyone's mouth on it, but I didn't get a perfect view of it. But unfortunately, around at Aintree, turn number 5, and well, half around, down to 14th.
Oh, nice move there from Halliday. Sorry to cut you off. Went around the outside at Cops.
Fair play to Jan Halliday. If he's, well, that's a hard place to do it.
It is. It's a. Well, I mean, I wouldn't go for it, but fair play to Jan for trying it. And we can see now the gaps are really starting to close at the front because we start to have some more changes for the lead here. So, oh, what a send there from Tudor. Makes it 3 wide and into second place. Now, that was a ballsy move. Heading into Stoke Order. No one expected that move there from Tudor Pressacan. What a move into second place. And that really caught Keanu and Yannick off guard. They've dropped down to P3 and P4. And Danny Van Ruyten, Warder, what can he do to get past Yannick? He's tried so hard. He's had the opportunity handed to him on a plate, but he just can't get past. And it's not like he's doing anything wrong either. It's just not working out.
It's not, and I think it needs to be a Tudor-esque move to get past him, because Yannick is putting up a great defence there. But wow, what a move from Tudor Pressacan, because that, even though the softs are on their way, he's making it work. And oh my goodness me, that was Keanu Latour trying to get involved as well on the McLaren, and it's all side by side, and I think that's allowed Danny Van Ruyten to have a go at his teammate.
It certainly has, as they head their way down to Cop's corner. The Mercedes is going to be split by the 2 Williams. That could go 3 wide, and luckily it does not. But Danny's going to go up the inside into Cop's corner and has a massive slide and somehow collects the car, but drops down to P7. Now that was a scary move. I think well, I don't think Keanu thought that Danny was going to go for it because he was a little bit further back as they went into the corner. And actually, Yannick Schmitz dropped back down to P6. What's happened there? Has he let through Danny, maybe? I'm not sure.
I wonder if there was a overtake off the track and it's like a penalty warning come up on there. I'm not sure. But that is an odd thing to do. It doesn't look like there's damage to him because it's very tight. There might be damage now. We've been battling away with Kai Pearson, but it's all safe at the moment. But wow, what a weird place for us to be.
I know, it's been a very interesting British Grand Prix, that is for sure, here in WRPC Tier 2, and Keanu Latour is looking to close in on the back of Tudor, heading into turn 3, but no moves are made, and I'm surprised how much the soft tyres are holding off. They're really, they're not struggling that hard at all compared to these mediums, and they've been running for 8 laps, so it's looking very good here for these soft tyre runners, as we do see Kai Pearson having a battle again with Yannick Schmidt in towards Brooklyn's corner. You're going to have Kai to the outside. They make a slight bit of contact. Kai ghosts for a split second. Then we have JSD under pressure here from Linus Donovan in towards turn number 7 and 8. That'll be at Luffield Woodcut as well as they head their way up to Cop's corner. And they're still going to go side by side into Cop's. And I think JSD is just about keeping it ahead of Linus for now as they head their way through. No, sorry, he's lost position to Linus as Kai Pearson does venture off the circuit.
It's all very tight at the top here, well, in the middle here as well. We've spoken a lot about the top of the grid, but they're giving action throughout it. And a couple of drivers just, especially on the Beckett's part of Maggots and Beckett's, just going a little bit wide and costing themselves some time.
Indeed, as the two Red Bulls go side by side, Joel Marquardt and JSD, and Joel ahead of Jay, and we do see as well Diego Zorza looking to make a send, but backs off heading into the final couple of corners here to conclude lap 9 of 26, and I think now the soft tyres are starting to die off because JSD's lost a position, Justin Ertz has lost a position to Zalan, and also we did see Danny Van Ruyten right on the rear of Jan Herde as well for P5 as he sends it into turn 3. Bit of a half send, but had to commit to it into turn 3 and still can't find the move through unless he can find a switchback. But actually, no, sorry, I thought for a second that Danny had some damage, but no, it was just the angle.
Jan, definitely, the back end stepped out on him, which has dropped him a bit of time, which has allowed Danny to have another look up the inside at Brooklands and into left field, but I don't think it's going to be enough. But I can, you know, Tudor Pressacan is struggling at the front. He had Keanu Latour all over the back of him through the first sector, through Village and into Braintree, but nothing doing. But it's all really tight with a lot of these drivers, and with the softs, I think it'll be quite a sharp drop-off. So we'll probably see pits this lap or next lap.
Yeah, I think we certainly will. As you can see, Keanu here right on the back of Tudor, just looking to try and find that move for second place. Of course, has saved to 100% battery now, can dump the battery, heading into Stoke corner. He'll look to try and take second away and should do it quite easily into Stoke. There we are, into second. Goes Keanu Latour, and now can try and close up on the back of Keys. And look, as we do see Tudor pit, what about Jan Herde? He stays out for another lap. JSD goes into the pit lane. What about Justin Ertz? He stays out as well. So that'll be 2 of our 5 soft tyre runners enter the pit lane to go into a set of the mediums to the end.
It's Keaton Lutt versus Keanu Latour again. They've been separated for a few laps, but they can renew their battle for the lead of this Grand Prix. And Quintino is kind of just stuck there. He's been overtaken. He's overtaken. It's like he's been there but not been there. He hasn't really done anything wrong, but now he's back in a chance for taking the lead of this Grand Prix.
Yeah, indeed. It's really just throwing every single lap. You're thinking, right, this person's got an advantage. Next lap, someone else has. The lap after, someone else has got an advantage. You really don't know who's going to come out on top here because there's so many different strategies and so many different twists and turns happening in the Grand Prix. Anyone could win by the time we get to lap 26, and we're on lap 11 now, so nearly halfway through. Of course, lap 13 will be the halfway point of this race, so not long to go before. Well, I mean, this lap or next lap, I think all the soft tyre runners would be in for a medium. Lap 16, 17, and a little bit later than that's when I expect to see those on the mediums in. I can't see anyone pitting from mediums any earlier than lap 16, but then I believe, yeah, lap 16, 17 is when we'll see everybody jump into the pit lane as Keanu Latour takes the lead away from Keaton Lutt as they head their way into Stowe corner, and now down towards the final couple of corners. And Jan Herde choosing to stay out still, but is under heavy pressure now from Danny Van Ruyten. I think Danny went for a bit of a half send yet again into the chicane. I just think now Danny's thinking, right, if we can just send some fake moves on Jan, eventually he's going to get a little bit scared and go a bit deep or defend when he shouldn't need to, and then I can pop myself through into P4.
If Jan can keep this up as well, he's doing a great job for making sure he can absolutely punish the medium tyres in his second stint. But he is, through Maggots, Beckett's and Chapel, he is struggling.
Yeah, definitely. You can see Danny really close up in some of those parts of the corners, you know, the high-speed corners. Through some of the slow speed, it's not as bad for Jan, you know, because everyone else is also travelling at a slower speed and also saving some of that battery. So yeah, it's going to be it's going to be really interesting to see when Jan pits. I mean, I'd expect him in this lap, I think, because eventually, you know, you're going to go that far into it. Once you go into the medium, you're going to have 10 laps on the mediums. Everyone else is going to have 10 laps on the softs, for example. The softs are going to win out in that battle any day of the week. So he's got to get that undercut to work so he can, you know, obviously get himself to the end, have better tyres at the end of the race because, you know, it's a harder compound. So, yeah, he's got to make sure that he gets this strategy right. As we do see Keanu Latour now looking to try and take the lead. Sorry, Keaton Lutt taking the lead away from Keanu. And now he's talking again and in quickly on the back of Danny Van Ruyten there. But no move can be made.
Jan throws himself into the pits, so that's, well, doesn't break that up. But it'll be interesting to see where he comes out in comparison to Pressacan, because staying out a little bit longer, obviously the fresh tyres for Tudor will be massive, and he doesn't want to. He kind of wants the DRS and the the driver with him, doesn't he, for
Yeah,
going as fast as can.
he definitely is. As we head our way through in towards turn 4. Oh, that's going to be the Mercedes. Who's that? It's going to be no, not Racing Chaz. I'm looking at the wrong car. I think it was an Aston Martin there looking to make a send, or it was a Williams, a Yannick Schmidt. One of them was looking to make a send in towards turn number 4, but unfortunately couldn't quite make that work as Gabriel Gutino's popped himself back up into third. I swear at one point he was like P7, so he's kind of quietly got his way back up the field. Oh, a massive slide there for Keaton heading out to Lovefield, and that could certainly cost his tyres a bit of wear and definitely not help him throughout the rest of this stint. And yeah, give it 4 laps, it should be in either way, but you can see Keaton, I think, he's actually started to struggle a little bit with pace now because Keanu's pushing him through Maggots and Baggots, and they're on the same tyre.
Yeah, it could be. Well, and this is the wonderful thing about it. Unfortunately, Kai Pearson picking up a penalty there, but the setups are so crucial. And if you just slightly change it from the normal, you think you can go a bit faster, but on one setup, but it's a bit more tyre damage. It's a problem, as I think that is
Rehard's
into the pit. That's early for a set of softs, but it could cause a absolute jumper of a undercut here.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think his hope here is just to go to a set of softs. Yes, he's going to go longer on them, but he's going to get out of that train. He has some clean air just to push the car. And of course, jump along, and I think he'll be with Jan, Tudor, Jay, just pull along with them and just try and catch back up to that leading train. Of course, well, not catch up to them, but, bring that gap down between them and those leading runners as well. Will Rehard's come out. We'll go on board here with Jan Harday heading through turns 1 and 2. He'll come out behind Jan. He'll come out behind Jay. Oh, no, just ahead. So into net P3 goes Rehard's Brogis. And I mean, surely he's in a better situation than Jan and Tudor, because he's on softs and they're on used medium. Well, 1 lap and 3 lap old mediums.
What would be best for him to do now is not push too much, but just stick to the back end of his teammate and save the tyres a little bit. Be a little bit smart about it so those tyres can go that little bit extra. Because he's done a fantastic job with that, if that's the case. Because Tudor and Jan are going to be, well, they're in for the long haul now, and they definitely going to be towards the top end of the field at the end of the race.
Yeah, certainly they will, as we do have some of our leaders pit him. So Keanu and Keaton, I think, making a pit stop. Yeah, we got Larry, Yannick, Joel as well, all going into the pits, and that means Gabriel Quintino will take the lead of the Grand Prix ahead of Danny Van Ruyten and Kai Pearson. So they should pit next lap round. But yeah, 5 people making a pit stop. Tony Hitler only just leaving the session. So we'll continue on and we'll see where does Jan Harday come out compared to all of our lead runners. So we'll go on board with Jan here in towards the final couple of corners now. We'll lead the way down towards turn 1. And this is going to be, I think the overcuts worked heavily here. I think they're going to come out way ahead of those on the new softs. Where does Tudor come out? He comes out ahead, and Richard Sprogis has made that undercut work. He's now into net. He's now ahead of all the soft runners, and he's only got ahead of him people on older medium tyres. So Richards is in a very good position now to possibly go for the win here.
What an undercut that was. Fair play to the Aston Martin driver, but he's still got to get past Jan Halliday, which if you look at the season standings, hasn't been easy to do, but I'm sure Richard is going to give it his best.
He certainly will, and I mean, Jan's just got to hope that he can keep trading with Tudor and Richards and not let all those on the faster softs come behind and work their way through. As long as Jan and Tudor keep them behind and they just keep swapping for the lead, eventually their tyres are going to get to a point where they can't battle, or at least they won't be in a strong enough position to just to fly past them. So they've just got to hold themselves for now. And then, of course, as the race concludes, the soft tyres won't be looking to make the attack as much as they are at this current point. As we do see JSD there under pressure from Keanu Latour. Keanu goes up ahead of him. Now sits behind the back of Keaton. And we did see, I think, there Jan. Yeah, got overtaken there by Tudor Pressagan. He goes up into P9. But all these that are pitting now, they're going to be really far back.
Yeah, especially, I'm looking, not Tudor, sorry, he's just got the fastest lap of the race. Danny Van Ruyten hasn't pitted yet. He's got an enormous task to get back through the grid.
Yeah, he certainly has. I mean, look at Danny and Gabriel, they're 2.5 seconds ahead of Enzo. Enzo was right at the back earlier on. So, you know, it's going to be very difficult here for Danny and Gabriel to work their way back through with how, you know, intense this DRS train is, as we do see. Very hard under pressure here from Keedan Lutt in towards Brooklyn's corner. They go. Keedan's got the inside in towards Luffield. Rihaz has got to take it all the way around the outside. The two Aston Martins boxing in the Haas for now as we head our way through Woodcut up towards Cop's corner. Rihaz is on the outside. Keedan's up the inside. And further back we've got Keanu looking to get involved. Gabriel takes the lead of the race. But of course they've got to pit, so it's not really much of a lead of the race. As we can see here, Keanu just pushing Rihaz through the corners. And either Rihaz is struggling with pace, or that one lap tyre difference is making, he's making such a difference here. Because Rihaz is being swallowed up by Keanu and Keedan.
Yeah, and Keanu definitely somehow managed to go. Oh, goodness, there's a little bit of contact there. But a much better exit through Chapel than Rihaz did there. That was quite amazing.
Yeah, it certainly was, as we do see our top three pit. So Jan Herde will be promoted up to the lead of the race. But yeah, Gabriel and Danny, they've got a lot of work to do here, as we do have Yannick Schmidt looking for a move into turn one ahead of Rihaz Sprogis. They make a slight bit of contact, but nothing too impactful, as we do see now Gabriel Quintino and Danny Van Ruyten come out P12 and P13.
It's insane, isn't it? It feels like they've made a mistake there. Outside of the DRS behind Linus Donovan there. So that's 2 seconds through it all. And that's the problem. They've got to try. They've got to try and push the tyres as hard as they can.
They certainly have. And what a move this could be here from Kai Pearson, trying to go the long way around ahead of JSD. So the sister team ahead of the main team now as Kai Pearson moves up into P8, but of course has a penalty, so will drop back later on, as we do see Gabriel Quintino now making a move ahead of Linus Donovan, and now sits on the back of Joel Marquardt, who's the leading rebel in this pack, and it's going to be so hard here. Oh, and that could have been contact there. Linus Donovan and Danny Van Ruyten in towards that being Maggots and Beckett's, and they went side by side. But yeah, it's going to be hard here for Joel and those below to catch up to this top 10 train, unless all these at the front argue hard. And to be fair, Jan Herde is really slowing them down, I think.
Yeah, Jan's possibly part of his plan. Get everyone just to battle away, and I will pick up the pieces at the end. That could be his plan, as Kai Pearson up into 7th place. Like you quite rightly mentioned, the penalty is going to push him down, but showing some good pace tonight, which is good to see. It
certainly is good to see, as we do see Kai Pearson making a send this time, and Rihaz Sprogis in towards turn number 3, then into turn 4. Kai's going to have to hang it to the outside of Rihaz as they head their way into turn 5. No move can be made that time around. And of course, Kai's going to have a decent run down towards Brooklyn's corner to get that position made and move himself up into P6. Can he make the move? He's going to send it on Rihaz in towards Brooklyn's corner. Oh my, and they both go off the circuit. No, sorry, Kai keeps it on. Rihaz goes off, drops down to P9 now, allows Larry Talkie and JSD through into P7 and P8, and that will not make Rihaz happy at all. He's going to be quite fuming now, because behind him are 2 very quick cars.
Yeah, that's not what he needed at all. Danny Van Ruyten and Gabriel, 2 drivers that are trying to get themselves back into the top 5. You definitely don't want them behind you.
You certainly do not. We can see here, look at this battle at the front. They're all just closing up, and all these on the softs are eager to try and make moves, but none of them can close in at all on Tudor. But here comes Keedan, gets past 1. Keanu to the outside of Tudor. He's trying to make a move for P3. He can't get past Tudor at all as they head their way now down to the chicane. Oh my, and a big move over to the right there from Tudor. That sends Keanu a little bit squibbly into the braking zone. Keanu is going to push off Tudor Prezican slightly as they head their way through the final corner. Yannick Schmidt up the inside as they head their way into turn number 1 now. Yannick going up into P4. Tudor Prezican down to P5, as we do see as well. Gabriel Quintino now ahead of Rihaz Sprogis, and soon to follow will be Danny Van Ruyten around the outside.
Wow, what a... Oh, goodness me. Kai Pearson up the inside of Tudor as well. This is continuing for worse for Tudor. But Kai Pearson up into 5th place. Now Larry trying to get involved as well. Keedan has taken the lead of the Grand Prix. Tudor's trying to hang it around the outside through Brooklands, but has to concede the position to Kai Pearson in the end. It is all happening at the moment.
It certainly is. And I mean, we've still got 7 laps to go, and it feels like we've been here for 10 years with all the battling we've had so far around the Silverstone circuit. It's been an absolutely brilliant night of racing action, and we do see Danny Van Ruyten there getting ahead of Gabriel Quintino. Those two are pretty much rivals here in this race, trying to work their way through the field together, but also try and battle each other and come out on top as we head our way through Maggots and Beckett's now and look at just the advantage that Danny has over JSD. Pulls right up to the rear of the Red Bull. Should pull to the outside to make the move. Yannick Schmidt, though, looking for a move for P3 as they head their way in towards Stowe Corner. Jan Harday's trying to send it up the inside of Keaton. He can't do anything. Keanu now looking to defend here. That P3 away from, that'll be from Yannick Schmidt as they head their way into the chicane. A brilliant move there from Yannick. He goes up into P3 now, looking to close in on Jan Harday for P2 as we head our way back down to turn number 1. When is the action going to stop? Everywhere you look, there's action. We see further back, Gabriel Quintino up the inside into turn 1.
Oh, and JST having to take an off-ramp there after that. That's unfortunate for the Red Bull man, but it is all over the place. And Kai Pearson has somehow, I swear, he's just found rockets all of a sudden because he is fighting. He's getting towards the top. He is at home with those softs, but the longer these battles goes on, the advantage swings to Jan Halliday.
It does, and I suppose the worst part for Kai is he's got a penalty. If he didn't get that 3-second penalty now, he'd be on for a legit podium. But now, he's going to drop all the way down outside of the points. If we look at the gap to leader, if he's 7/10 back, yeah, he's going to drop outside the points, which is a big shame because he's had to fight so hard in this race to work his way through the field, and now he's in a pretty decent position.
It's a shame. I was gonna put him as a podium shout pre-race, but I didn't want to jinx him. But Jan Halliday has really struggled through Maggots and Beckett's, and he is going to be under incredible pressure from Yannick and Kai coming into Stowe. Well, I thought he was, but oh goodness me, Yannick's nearly back end went.
A bit of a sliding moment there for Yannick, because we do see Danny Van Ruyten trying to get a move ahead of Larry Torquay. Larry says, no, thank you. You can stay in P7 just for now. I want that P6 as we head our way back down to turn 1 to begin lap 21 and 26. 5 laps to go, including this lap. And it's still Keaton Look that leads the Grand Prix ahead of Jan Halliday, who's on the worst tyre at the moment. And he's still holding that second place. Bit of a tap from Larry onto the back of Keanu. And I think that kind of went down to the back of Danny as well. I think he hit Larry. But as we do see, Kai Pearson still looking to make a move ahead of Yannick Schmidt. But Yannick's going to try to make a move ahead of Jan Harday as they head their way into Brooklyn's corner. Yannick's going to send it up the inside. Jan has to go deep to concede the position, but tries to fight it back in towards Luffield. Yannick goes deep. Jan's back up the inside. Kai Pearson's on the outside of Jan Harday as we head our way back up to Cop's corner. Yannick Schmidt goes up into P2. Kai Pearson now looking to close in on Jan Harday for P3. And we have a move in towards Cop's here, nearly 3 wide between Keanu, Larry and Danny.
What is going on? These guys are giving us full action. Kai Pearson surely not through Maggots and Beckett's. This is insane if he's managing to get this done. He has done, wow, what a move from Kai Pearson. He is up into 3rd place.
A brilliant move into Maggots and Beckett's. I mean, I didn't think I'd say we'd see that today, but Jan Harday goes back into P3 ahead of Kai Pearson. Danny Van Ruyten there looking to make a move ahead of Larry Torquay, looking to make a move as well ahead of Keanu Latour as we head our way down to the chicane. Danny's going to have to send it. He's only got a few laps to do it. He goes up the inside of, that'd be Keanu Latour heading through in towards the final couple of corners. Can't quite make the move there and keeps it into P6. Rihard Sproggis, unfortunately, will retire in the pit lane as Gabriel Quintino now up into P7 ahead of Larry Torquay. Oh, what a final few laps we're going to get here.
This is, well, non-stop. Yannick is now hunting down Keaton Lutt for the lead of this Grand Prix as well. Jan is not out of this. Kai Pearson still all over the back of that Aston Martin after a very, very opportunistic move through Maggots and Beckett's. But this is just constant, isn't it, Nathan? We don't know where to look.
We certainly do not. I saw a message in the chat there from Liam saying Yannick's back. The same question I had about an hour ago, Liam. I didn't have a clue that Yannick was back, but he's back here racing, and at the moment racing quite well and sitting in a position to possibly win the Grand Prix. So we would be very happy with that if this is his league racing return, because I haven't seen him for a very long time. As we have Danny Van Ruyten now looking to close in still on the back of Keanu Latour as we head our way through in towards Maggots, Beckett and Chapel once again down towards Stowe Corner. And this is where it starts to get feisty because Danny's going to close in. Is it enough to make a send on Keanu? I think it will be. To the inside he goes. Oh, someone's got some damage. I did see a front wing end plate fly off the circuit there.
I think that is
Oh,
Keaton.
Oh, Jan's been spun round and Yannick's had the session. Oh, and that's also Gabriel Quintino being spun round. What has just happened? We have 3 cars get involved in an incident in one corner, all in the space of 5 seconds.
I really don't. Kai Pearson has front wing end plate damage. Not sure how any of this has popped out. This is incredible. This is insane. It's lap 23.
Oh, mum, he's still got 3 laps to go. And look at the gap that Keaton has at the front. He's got a 2-second gap to Keanu Latour. This could be an easy win here. As Danny Van Ruyten goes up into 3rd place, Yannick Schmidt's AI is dropping all the way down the field. A big shame. Yannick Schmidt's back, though, as we head our way through to Luffield so he can try and still get involved and possibly score a couple of points. A big shame, though, for Gabriel Quintino. A big shame as well for Jan Hardy, who got half spun heading down into the final couple of corners. And Larry Tolkien now looking to close in to get ahead of Kai Pearson, who has a massive snap heading through Cop's corner. That wing damage certainly is not helping him at all.
And Jan is returning the favour through the battle through Maggots and Beckett's. He's not able to get the move done, but Kai is struggling to no end with that front wing damage, and he's going to lose position. Such a shame. Danny Van Ruyten, though, takes 2nd place away from Keenan Latour.
Yep, I don't think there's any chance at all of Danny fighting for this win here, because Keaton's got such a big gap heading on to lap 24. There's battles everywhere you look here. Kai Pearson has been, that's Joel Marquardt being spun round down at the chicane. I think he had contact with Kai Pearson heading through the final corner. Diego Zorzo goes ahead of Tudor Pressacan. Race Imtiaz goes up the inside of Tudor as well in towards turn 1. Tudor goes a little bit wide. They make a bit of contact. The lock wheels heading down to turn 3. Tudor has to send it deep to go around the outside of the Mercedes to have the inside line heading in towards turn number 4. Can he make that move work? Can Tudor defend off Race Imtiaz? Yes, he can. He says in P9 for now, but Race is certainly going to be hunting him down as they head their way down to Brooklyn's corner once again. Lawrence Donovan now jumps up into P6 ahead of Kai Pearson. He's got that damage. He's just falling through the field.
It's such a shame for Kai, because he was doing so good as well. But that front wing damage is costing massively. There's a few breaks in the chain now. We've got a 4-car battle for P2. But I think it does look like Danny's just got that extra pace. Those 2 laps are definitely working for him.
Yep, they certainly are. I don't think Keanu can really do much here to stop Danny from getting that 2nd place at this current moment in the race. Has still seen battles absolutely everywhere. Yannick Schmidt, of course, joining back in the race, but unfortunately down in P11. And I said earlier on he was doing a good run in P2. I think I've jinxed it a little bit, as we do see Kai Pearson trying to go around the outside of Diego Zorzo in towards Stowe corner. Kai goes a little bit wide, and Diego moves up into P7 now in this race. And that's going to be Kai making a send on Race Imtiaz as they head their way through. You can't call what's going to happen here at the moment. Kai Pearson going up the inside into the final corner. Can't make that move. I think Kai Pearson knows now. Yeah, there's nothing he can do here at all.
It's such a shame. I think it might, though, be a little bit of a rear gunner for Enzo. Just letting Enzo have a little bit of a reprieve. Enzo's got a chance of some points when earlier on, if you remember rightly, Enzo was out. Well, he was behind a driver, I can't remember who, that was outside of a second of the battle for the top 10. And he's now into the points.
He certainly is, as Kai Pearson's still trying to fight with Yannick Schmidt here. There's nothing he can do with that damage to get ahead of Yannick as they head their way through into Luffield and, of course, Woodcut, and then down to Cop's corner here, looking at Larry Tolga. He's looking to try and make a move ahead of Keanu Latour. Jan Harde as well. His tyres seem to have kind of lit back up over these past couple of laps, and now we have just over 1.5 laps left to go here in the British Grand Prix, and so far it's Kid and Look for Haas that leads the way ahead of Danny Van Ruyten. And a big shame there for Enzo soon to get a penalty, and he was in the top 10. He's now going to drop down to P13 as we do see a massive send here from Larry. He gets one. No, so that's going to be Jan Herder, sorry, getting one, looking to get two as they head their way in towards Stowe corner. Jan Herder on an absolute charge here in the Aston Martin.
He's trying desperately to keep his 100% podium record in season 19 PC Tier 2 running. He's still got a bit of work to do to get in front of either Danny Van Ruyten or Keanu Latour. But there's so much going on, Nathan. I don't know where to look. There's so much. Diego's also holding on in front of Enzo Soom at the moment, but that is very, very tight there as well. But we're on the last lap. Who It's taken ages, but it's also felt like it's been 2 minutes.
It certainly has. It's been a really weird Grand Prix. This has. It's been one I've enjoyed, and I haven't enjoyed a Grand Prix like this for a long, long time. It's like been sitting back as a viewer, just shouting and screaming at everything that happens as Jan Halliday goes up into second place in the Aston Martin. We've got further back Race Imtiaz as well, making it 3 wide in towards Luffield Corner. We've got Linus, Enzo, Diego, Race all battling there as they have their own little train for the leaders. We do see, though, Danny Van Ruyten back up the inside of Jan Halliday to take that second place away. What can Keanu Latour do? Can he try and close in on the back of the Aston Martin? I think Jan's played this perfectly because he's burning all. He's going to put his battery onto none, get it all built back up, and then we can dump it down towards Stoke Corner along with that DRS. We're going to have a massive battle now for second place as they head their way all the way into Stoke Corner. Can Jan Halliday get second? He can. Can Danny Van Ruyten defend it? Oh, Keanu's going to have a bit of a snap as they head their way down to the final couple of corners, but back to the lead. What a race it's been here by Keaton Lutt to defeat Jan Halliday and to win it by 2.7 seconds. He wins in Silverstone, and Jan Halliday, despite being on the awful strategy towards the end, his tyres were dead. He somehow keeps the second place, and Danny Van Ruyten, he tried it so hard in the first stint, he couldn't get a P3, but in the end he takes third. A brilliant race from himself, and also Larry Torquay in P4.
Oh my goodness, I don't know what I've just witnessed. Obviously, great by Keaton Lutt there, and Jan, the driver of the day from the game, but obviously I would definitely throw that as well for an option. But my goodness me, it was 4 wide from that second train into Maggots and Beckett's. It was insane. I know you had to go the front of the grid to watch that battle, but my goodness, I've never seen 4 wide going into Maggots and Beckett's.
Absolutely insane. I haven't seen a battle like that and a race like that for a long, long time. And we'll just pop our. If you want to talk through the finishing order, we'll try and get some of them in the interview room.
No problem. I'll wait for the pop up if it will for me, because it's just saying communicating to service. But such a shame for drivers like Kai Pearson. It's just gone for a black screen, unfortunately, Nathan. So, oh no, it's come up now. So Kai Pearson taking victory tonight by 3.006 seconds in the end. But Danny Van Ruyten throwing himself into third with Jan Halliday. Starting in 6th, finishing 2nd. Great drive from him. Larry Torquay in 4th, 5th to Keanu Latour. Yannick Schmidt in 6th, 7th to Diego Zorzo, 8th to Joel Marquardt, JST in 9th, and rounding out the point scoring position is Pressacan, who was up there at the top early, through it all, but such a shame for him, caught in an incident. Donovan, Imitas, Pearson, Beda, and Biega. Rounding out the finishers with Enzo Zoom, I think, retiring at the end, Quintino retiring, Sprogis retiring, Ertz retiring, and Tony Tiller retiring as well.
Oh, what a race we've had. But we do have someone in the interview room, so we'll drag in quickly. Keaton Lutt. Keaton, welcome in. Can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you.
So it's been a long time since I spoke to you in an interview room. I think it's been like, what, a year since CTC? It's been a long time indeed, and finally, getting yourself a win again. How does it feel?
First of all, I don't need that energy from you, okay? And second of all, what is this place? Why am I here, man? What is this? Nah, jokes aside, that was a great race, man. If any of you guys know my past, I've always been that Silverstone has always been my track.
Mm-hmm.
I have probably the most wins in WR Xbox side. I have wins in challengers here. I have poles, a lot of poles. I could have got pole today as well, but my beautiful, lovely Keanu teammates stole it from me. But that's okay. I got the race win. I'm super happy. As you said, I can't remember when was the last time I won the race, like in the top tier. So it's a nice feeling.
It certainly is. I mean, I think it's been a while, but I'm not going to hold you to that just in case it hasn't been, because I haven't been in Tier 2 for a long time either. But, I mean, it was a really chaotic race. I mean, obviously, coming to the end of it, we had that whole whatever happened with everyone from P2 down to like P7. Obviously, you pulled away. Do you reckon even if everyone was still together, you could have won it?
Yes, I think so. I think so, actually, because it felt like throughout the race I had somewhat good pace for once. I've always felt good in a race, but it's just difficult, to get a good result if you start from P13. So this time around, I started from the front and it really paid dividends, and I felt like I had good enough pace to win it. But obviously, you don't know up with this game, like with the last lap DRS and everything. So it was a lottery. If that thing didn't happen, then I was very happy that it happened because I couldn't chill, but I would still, take it more easy if I can say it like that.
Yeah, definitely. So, congratulations on the victory. Anything from you, Warder?
Well, no, I was talking about you on console tier one on Friday night. 3 times you've taken victory. Season 10, season 9, and season 7 on the console/Xbox side of things, and you've done it now on PC tier 2 as well. You are absolutely incredible at this track. Is it just a track that you love?
I think so, yeah, man. I can't name it what it is, but I feel like those mid speed corners and the traction zones really suit my driving style. But if we would delete the last sector, I'll be a kind of quicker guy as well. But I feel like that's my nemesis on this track, man. I was struggling the whole day in practice there, but it doesn't matter at the end of the day. I won the race and I'm super happy.
Congratulations on your victory, my friend. Well done, and good luck for the remainder of the season.
Thank you very much.
Have a good one, mate. Thank you. Right, so, Jan, it's becoming a bit of a common theme now. You're in the interview room. Have you turned the grip hacks up? I mean, I've seen you twice in 4 weeks.
Yeah, the Joy 2 key is on.
Oh, but what a chaotic race! I mean, going on the soft to medium, did you expect to come home with a P2?
I was hoping for a win, honestly. I think the strat I did was good. I had the best tires in the end, I feel like. Also a good straight line speed, so it was quite easy for me to defend from the guys behind and kind of position the car right. It's just a big shame that I got punted off and Keaton was able to gap. So yeah, that's racing. I did it last week and I won thanks to that. So that's racing. Yeah, GG's to Keaton as well. He had a great pace, and GG's to I think Danny finished on the podium with me. So yeah, congrats to them.
I mean, you'll still pull a gap in the championship, which is still very nice indeed. So, yeah, it's just, I mean, I don't really know what else to say because that race was just chaos, wasn't it? It was just literally everything happened at once.
Yeah, it was chaos. Starting with quali, I was P6 and I was 20,000 behind P1. I think that was quite insane, I would say. Also, considering this is not my best track, I felt quite good with the lap, and it was only P6. So yeah, I don't know. But yeah, otherwise, I was just trying to save ERS, not run out. Like I said, trying to position my car well, and yeah, I think I got punted off a few times. I got pushed off, but I always came back. It was like I was P4 at one point, then I was P8. I got back to P4, then I was P8 again. So I was kind of jumping around on the standings, and yeah, all in all, I guess P2 is a good result. Yeah.
Yeah, it certainly is. So, congratulations on that. Anything from you, Warder?
Jan, your 100% record of finishing on the podium this season continues, even though it didn't look like it at times. Are you looking to do it for the whole season? 6 rounds remaining, not plenty of chances.
Of course, that's the goal, I guess. Yeah, I would love to. Honestly, I had a great few races, and I hope I will continue on this trend.
And Zandvoort next. You mentioned that Silverstone's not maybe your strongest. Zandvoort, is that any better for you?
I have no idea. I haven't driven the track yet on the game. So it's going to be interesting to say the least.
Indeed.
Congratulations and well done for fighting through the field numerous times.
Yep.
Thank you for joining us, Jan.
Thank you, guys.
Have a good one.
Goodbye.
Bye. And finally, finishing third in the race. I mean, we don't get first, second, and third in the interview room very often. We're lucky tonight. Danny Van Ruyten, welcome in. Congratulations on third. Give us a bit of an explanation how that race went for you, because, like I said to Keaton and Jan, it was just all over the place, wasn't it?
Yeah. It started with quali. I messed up my last lap. Like, not messed up, but I lost pole, but doesn't really matter on this track anyway. Then a few incidents in the race. Decided to overcut, which, yeah, was okay in the end, but unlucky P1 was out of DRS, and then the last lap, Jan was in front of me, but I knew he had like almost no ERS, so I tried to go in front because I wanted to avoid carnage, because the championship is long, and yeah, I thought maybe I can, with my ERS advantage, still finish second, but unfortunately, P3.
Yeah, I mean, it could have certainly gone a lot better, but at the end of the day, a podium still taking 15 points. And next week, we head to your home track. You excited about the Netherlands?
Yeah, I think it's a fun track. Just gonna be hard to overtake there, I think, with such a close grid. But the track is fun to drive.
So you
I
think
think.
it's all about qualifying then next week at Zandvoort?
Yeah, qualifying would definitely be more important than on this race.
Yeah, definitely.
So
I
yeah,
mean, I think you were 6 points behind Keanu going into this. You're now going to be 1 point behind him heading into
yeah,
Zandvoort. So it's very close for second. I mean, Jan is still quite a far bit away in third. I think the gap will be
yeah,
now like
true.
35 points. But
Yeah, I
over a
missed the first
season,
race as well.
yeah, I mean, over a season, we've seen point gaps of 50 come down. So 35 over 6 rounds. If you keep at it, it's definitely possible, isn't it?
Yeah, it's always possible. Just gonna be hard because he's very consistent, and yeah, maybe he'll miss a race. I don't know. But yeah, I missed the first one, but
Mhm.
I'll try my best to win because that's what we all aim for.
Definitely. Anything from you, Warder?
Danny, great race. Obviously, a few incidents out there.
Yeah.
But I mean, talk us through like a mindset for you when you get caught in an incident. Is it do you does like anger fill you up, or is it just like, oh right, reset, let's go again?
Yeah, I try to be calm sometimes. Of course, there's gonna be a bit of anger, but yeah, in the next shade there's already people attacking you or people that you have to attack, so you don't really have time to think about what happened in the past and just try to make overtakes again and just get the best result possible.
And the first stint, battling with Yannick, he was nearly impossible to overtake. How difficult was it for you to keep momentum and attack him?
Yeah, I felt like said it was quite unnecessary, so it was really hard to get past someone, and also in the DRS train, it's just very hard. And yeah, I tried my best, but it didn't work. That's why I wanted to go for the overcut to create like a big tire advantage with the hopes that the people in the train would slow down a bit, which happened a bit, I think, because we didn't came out far behind, and then we had like a few laps tire advantage, but in the end it didn't really matter because it was carnage anyway.
Really. Well, congratulations on your third place finish, Danny, and well done for a good race.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you, Danny. Have a good one, mate. Thanks for joining us.
You too, mate. Bye bye.
Bye. Right, so there we are. We'll bring ourselves back over to the intermission screen. I mean, it's not very often at all we get to see first, second, and third. So it's nice to have a chat with our top three after that race. And I mean, it was brilliant, Silverstone. I mean, if I have to look back at the season at the end, I feel like I'll be like, right, I'm glad I got Silverstone to be the race that I filled in for because it was a mega race and probably one of my favourite British Grand Prix I've seen, or at least commentated over.
That was amazing. I mean, for me as well, filling in over that. Wow, these guys gave us everything, other than a safety car, which is great. But wow, some amazing battles, and fair play to Keeden Lutt. So successful here at Silverstone in WOR.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, what did you say? He's won it 4 times now.
Uh,
So it
I
was 3, and
think
then this will be the 4th, wouldn't it?
I haven't got his stats for PC, so it could even be
Oh.
more than that as well. I just from an Xbox point of view, he is well and truly the goat at Silverstone.
Yeah, and it carries on into F124 and into PC. So, oh, now it's time to relax and wind down after what a brilliant race it was. Of course, next week we head off to Zandvoort, which will be a rather interesting track, a lot different to Silverstone, a lot shorter, a lot tighter, and also the walls are a lot closer. So that one will be very interesting. And I believe Sappy and Corey should be back next week, so they'll take you through all the action around the Zandvoort circuit. So, guys, thank you for joining us. It's been a pleasure to be alongside you, Wardren, and of course, a big thanks to everyone in the chat and to all the drivers turning up. It's been an absolutely brilliant evening. So, guys, thank you all for joining, and we'll see you next time. Good night.